A contest that went the full distance. Even Kenny Dalglish admitted that Liverpool were fortunate to survive. Grobbelaar, hobbling for most of the match, produced a couple of fantastic saves. Following the first, Whelan's outstretched leg caught Ward, and the same player stepped up to score his 5th penalty of the season, hitting an unstoppable shot that Grobbelaar almost stopped. The league's only 100% home record looked vulnerable. Up until the last 8 minutes, Liverpool never really looked like scoring. But never say never at Anfield. Ian Rush's 13th of the season could have been a right hook. City thought so. 4 minutes later, with City on the ropes, Ian Brightwell's fly kick fell into the path of substitute Ronnie Rosenthal, and in front of the Kop, where super sub's a legend, he delivered what everyone probably thought was the knockout blow. City were down but not out. Battered and bruised in the dying minutes, they produced a stunning final flourish in the shape of a magnificent header by Niall Quinn. Arsenal, the only other team yet to suffer defeat this season, went behind at Queen's Park Rangers when Tony Adams lost patience with Roy Wegley's meanderings and conceded a fairly needless penalty. Wegley's kick was the first goal conceded by David Seaman in 7 games. Wegley's 12th of the season. Arsenal's goals, 3 in the last 12 minutes, lacked the style of their overall performance, which delighted George Graham. Adams had a crack, Smith was in there, Merson it was who made sure. Their second, and the goal that really knocked the stuffing out of Rangers, was the best of the 3. Nigel Winterburn down the left, Kevin Campbell involved, Alan Smith turning smartly for his 3rd in 2 games. It was Rangers' 5th defeat in a row. Kevin Campbell, Arsenal sub, made the most of David Barnsley's slip-up. 15 goals conceded in 5 games, Rangers. At the moment, they're the First Division's fall guys. Bobby Campbell, the Chelsea manager, chose to go to Spurs yesterday and was convinced of a double handball for goal number 1. Stewart there in controlling the initial pass, then Lineker before scoring. Culverhouse, Bowen and Crook were all returning to White Hart Lane with Norwich, and it was Crook who came up with the equaliser, catching Torsved napping and adding to Terry Venables' belief that Spurs should never have sold him in the first place. Tottenham's winner was a Lineker classic. The early ball, Stewart's header, Gary doing the rest with an economy of effort and maximum style. An own goal of Willie Donachie vintage after 30 seconds. One of the quickest on record in the First Division, gave Southampton the lead. Richard Shaw and Nigel Martin on totally different wavelengths. Goes down as just one of those things. But the thing about Palace is their ability to overcome setbacks. Steve Coppell's side is tremendous character, and he's delighted with the way they're playing at the moment. Ian Wright bang on form with the equaliser, and the first of 3 goals in a 5-minute spell. Wright's second was a beauty, and a real contrast in style to the first. Jeff Thomas powering through and setting up Wright for his 10th of the season. A minute later, Southampton were back on level terms. Paul Rideout taking Mickey Adams' cross on his chest and knocking the ball in with his studs. 1 goal was to settle it after the break, not the prettiest you'll ever see, and one the Saint is likely to discard on the first ballot, but Mark Bright from close range gave Palace their 4th away win. When Lee Chapman scores first, Leeds United tend to win. Gordon Strachan and Carl Shutt inevitably involved in the build-up. Agrizovic prevented it being a classic, but Chapman's instincts made it a very satisfying striker's goal. But on this occasion, Leeds couldn't capitalise on the advantage, their winning streak coming to an end when Chris Fairclough dillied and dallied, and Kevin Gallagher earned Terry Butcher his first point as Coventry's player-manager. All of a sudden, it's home sweet home for Wimbledon. They won at Plough Lane for the first time last week and found Everton fairly easy victims this time around. Warren Barton's precise header was his first for the club since his £300,000 move from Maidstone. Wimbledon played some good football, actually, and outplayed Everton. That was Barton's long cross to McGee, whose cross-in found Gibson totally unmarked and Everton in total disarray. Little Terry's second in successive games once again proved decisive because Everton scored before the end. Sheedy's free kick led to Roger Joseph conceding a penalty. And Sheedy's next effort from closer range was about the most decisive thing Everton produced all afternoon. Villa are developing bad habits. Only 1 goal in 6 games, and a defence that looked impenetrable a few weeks ago is leaking silly goals. Elstrup's header found Kingsley Black in acres of room. Both sides without a win in 5 beforehand. Luton sealed it with 6 minutes to go when David Priest pulled it back for Elstrup to score his 7th in the league this season. Forest normally win these East Midlands derbies, so it was no surprise when they went in front. Steve Chettle scoring for the 2nd successive Saturday. So for Derby to turn things round, it meant they had to score twice in a game for only the 2nd time this season. But Gary Micklewhite was contributing well down the right, and substitute Craig Ramage came up with an equaliser 3 minutes later. Derby's winner on the hour is a real contender for goal of the day. Micklewhite on the run and sending over an inviting cross that Dean Saunders dispatched brilliantly. His 8th of the season, none better. If you don't score, you don't win games. Sheffield United have now gone 6 without, and they're still the only side in the league without a win. What's more, when you commit Harry-Carry in the last quarter of the game, in the last quarter of the pitch, you don't deserve to win. Marco Gabbiadini putting Sunderland in front after 70 minutes, although Peter Davenport did look suspiciously offside. But from Sheffield United's point of view, the worst was yet to come. Paul Beasley, the culprit, Gabbiadini again the executioner. Sunderland's first away win, embarrassment for Beasley and Sheffield United.